So I know that we're still waiting for some people to come through, but
Yep.
I want to just make this a little bit more of a learning, and a little bit more intimate for the people who are here.
Hmm.
I would love to know where you're at, if you are having any wins or if you're having some tough times in, maybe e-campaigns, maybe phone calls, maybe, text messages, like whichever way. Because, I've been doing this for what, almost 2, 3 years, which is crazy.
Hmm.
Time flies when you're
Hmm.
having fun. But my script doesn't really change too much, right? So,
Hmm.
and I know a lot of people who come in, religiously, they've probably heard. If you're new, you'll hear some more. But remember, this is more so as a guide to help you out. Like, I can give you examples of how I'm getting it done. But I think what's more effective is really coming up and being a panelist and really just giving us your experience on where you're at right now, because this is a great way to get one-on-one coaching. And like, I am a
Hmm.
successful agent. I'm in the top 100 in my area. Last year I was top 39. I'm listing and buying every week. So, most people are in this area of mine, or Toronto, or West Toronto, wherever, or Newmarket. But,
Hmm.
I'm here for you guys. And Agent Locator has done so much with other panelists as well, to give you guys opportunity. But I think in order for you guys to really learn, just soaking up the information is great, but I want to hear how you're using it.
Hmm.
And I don't bite, so don't worry.
Yeah, if any of you guys want to hop on, have that ability to talk or discuss maybe what you're finding with your leads or your systems, and you can raise your hand. We'll give you the ability to talk and join the discussion. Um, a lot of what any of you may be countering is across the board, right? So if one person encounters it, it's guaranteed another person is encountering it as well. We can also use it as a group discussion as well, as in that situation, what any of you might do differently. Like, how do you
Yeah,
handle a certain objection, or how do you tackle your leads that you find is beneficial to you, or you're seeing to get response, or maybe you're trying doing a mass text message or a mass email, and it actually did retrieve a fair click or open a response rate to those text messages. So
yeah,
we can only learn by experience, really,
100%.
and what others are doing too, right?
Yep,
Um, can't
I
work all
agree.
we couldn't transact all the leads in our system anyway, right? And there's a good chance that your leads are in other agent locators dashboards and vice versa, and all different dashboards all over the place, right? So it's standing apart and getting the transactions for yourself, 100%, and then
I
kind of
agree.
working together for that,
I agree.
right? So
So, yeah.
it's
So I don't know who wants to come up here. Floor is yours.
anyone brave enough? Anyone brave
So,
enough?
so while we get some confidence going, is there any
Sure.
objections that you're hearing right now, or from any of the calls or anything in general, before I start playing mine? Because as we're just seeing, more and more are starting to trickle in. So,
Well, the most common that I see, and it's not that we're discussing it. It's usually when I'm going through systems and I'm reading call notes to try to help them organize their leads. And one of the is always the just looking, where, and that's exactly what I'll see in the note, is that they're just browsing for now. And maybe something like, it's like a one sentence call note. The call was 15 minutes long, let's say. It's like one sentence. And then they're not moving right now, or whatever it is, right? They're on hold, or it's nothing significant enough to really understand. And I think that a lot of what's missing is understanding, what does just looking mean for that specific person, and why are they just looking, right? So getting more information, so learning that when somebody's telling you that they're just browsing, how do we take that and still pull some information out of them that's going to be beneficial? Because we're all always just looking, right? We go into the stores we shop in, there's always customer service there, yet we're always browsing. We just kind of brush them off, yet we always leave with bags in our hands. So when it comes to buyers in real estate, just looking could be 100% that they're bored. They have no intentions of moving. They just decided to go on and check out the real estate market. It could be somebody that just drove past a child at home and happened to see that it was for sale. It could be somebody that's looking for a friend or family. It could be people that are planning a move, but they've got such a huge list of things that they've got to accomplish before that's even a possibility. And then you have people that are just looking, that are active lookers, that actually have intentions of making a move. And what you'll find is if you do pull back layers and you dig and you have conversations with a lot of your just looking people, you'll be surprised to learn that a lot of them are moving within 12 months, often between 6 and 9 months. But a lot of us fail to keep those conversations going and engaging with those individuals to pull that information out of them. And if you have any tactics for that when you're reaching out to your leads, when you're getting those people, like, oh, we're just browsing, we're just checking, that sort of thing. How do you, I guess, when you're speaking to the leads, make them feel comfortable enough that they're going to be willing to talk to you, and
Yeah.
continuously talk to you, even though they've just told you that we're just browsing, and you're still able to get a bunch of details about that just looking from that individual.
Yeah, so great questions. So a few things before I answer that question. Why I do love Agent Locator is because they give you so much information about the lead. Meaning, like the lead is clicking in. Like when you guys go look at your dashboard, you can see when someone logged in and what they're looking for, or in the location. So you already have information about the lead to use to your advantage before having a call. So you're not really going in blind. Number two, you're also going to see the criteria that they set up. Usually they're going to set it up wrong because they just want to see what it is there. And, they're not realtors. They don't know how to, view MLS and all, like find the right homes that's a good fit for them. So, it's really understanding that, number one. Number two, in sales or in general, or just calling, if we know that they're just looking or just interested, like it's just, kind of like a defense mechanism to just basically say, leave me alone. So they're just browsing independently and they feel that if they have a question, they'll reach out, whatever, whatever. But if we already know that these leads are going to be like that, I think the first way of getting success in the calls is really just addressing that right in the moment. And as you guys hear in most of my calls, it's usually just saying, hey, it's Nick Moretti calling from Moretti Real Estate. Just want to thank you so much for coming onto our website on morettirealestate.com. I just want to let you know, you're probably in the information stage. This is not a sales call. This is more of a customer service call, because I've noticed that most people who come in don't really, set up their criteria properly. And, my job is just to showcase the homes that you do want to see, regardless if today's the day or not, So it's already like you already having that. What are they going to say? Right? They're not going to say much. They're going to be like, yeah, you're totally right. I am just looking. So yeah, I just kind of saw a house that was kind of, I was interested in. Then the next time, the next sentence that I would say is like, hey, yeah, I totally understand. You look at the information that they give you. So if this leads looking in, Clarington, they're looking at detached homes. But like, hey, I saw when you came in, you were looking just in Clarington, you were looking at detached homes. Are you only looking for those type of products? They'll be like, yes, or they'll be no. And that's the time to fact find and build relationship. So from there, it's like, oh, okay, well, would you consider other properties other than detached, like semis or anything like that? Yes, no. Okay, so just detached. Great. Now, are you looking at single car garage or double car garage? Single. Great. Okay. Generally in this area, I'm sure that you've been seeing the ranges, and, in this market too, it's a little hard because you're seeing things, holding offers, then terminating price and listing much higher for the same property. So, right now, more than ever in this market, you need to be really educated and feel comfortable, right? Let me ask you a question. Have you guys been pre-approved? Is there a number that you want to stay in between? Like, this already sounds like you're having a conversation with two people, but it's not. You're just, you know what I mean? And I think it's that way too. And I also think too, it's your energy, right? Like I'm really big into energy. If you're kind of calling and you're not confident and you're just like, hi, like, hey, how are you? Like no one wants to talk to you. Like, no disrespect. Like just be confident, let them know that you're calling, who you're calling about, and letting them know, like, I understand you're in the information stage, but what are you looking for? And then that's how you kind of build and kind of go from there and build, more confidence with you and the lead. And you're also helping the lead. Remember, most of the time they don't even know what the hell they signed up for. And if they went on your website, you best believe they went on 4 or 5 others. So you now have to understand that they're not just getting a call from you, they're getting a call from 3 or 4 or 5 other agents if they do call. So, they're probably at that point, maybe a little annoyed or pissed off that people keep calling them. So you have to already know the mindset of the lead before you make that call and be scripted on how you're going to say it and what you're going to say to get the success in the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So if people say I'm just looking, hey, I totally understand you're just looking. And you know what? Most of the time, I can understand that you're in the information stage. And in the information stage, it does take about 3 to 18 months. Most people don't wake up the next morning and say, hey, I'm going to buy real estate. Unless they
Mm-hmm.
do that only unless a lifestyle change or a work change has happened or something in the family. But most of
Mm-hmm.
the time, they're just looking and just kind of gauging and seeing information and to see how far their money's going to get them.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, I think it's just acknowledging the fact that they're just looking and resonate with that and letting them know that that's okay. Making it very clear that this is not a sales call. I'm not trying to sell you anything on this call. I just want to better assist you and set you up and align you with the right properties so that at least I'm
Yes.
sending you information you want to be seeing.
Yes, yes, exactly. And remember, like, don't think about me, think about you. Like, think about the other person that you're talking to and think about how you can help them the most. Because at the end of the day, people are gonna want, like, think about this. Like, this is what I always do when I'm thinking about, servicing someone. Think about the different levels of service, right? Think about going into, let's say a really nice restaurant. Usually they'll have a hostess there greeting you. They'll have someone that takes you to your table. They'll have
Mm-hmm.
a waitress that comes in, but the ambiance is nice. Everything is pretty much on point if, there isn't any fumbles. And, you're served with a great meal, presentation's awesome, and all that stuff. And think about how the servers or, if you've been served very well, how they made you feel and made you feel comfortable, being in this restaurant with the ambiance and whatever. It doesn't have to go to that. Think about when you go to, if there's any ladies here, when you go to Louis Vuitton, when you go to Gucci, when you go to like all these luxury brands, how you get served, how like think about that. And then think about how you can interpret that and make that same, experience for yourself over the phone, during showings, writing offers, the
Mm-hmm.
whole thing. What I learned about real estate in my own 8 years, I can't believe I said 8 years, man, time flies. But in my 8 years and getting the success that I've been getting is that real estate, the difference between me, all you guys that are real estate agents or ladies on this call is the experience that you give them. People
Mm-hmm.
want experience. So if you
Mm-hmm.
give them a good experience and you package it well and you just say, here it is, they're
Mm-hmm.
going to come to you because no one else is
Yeah.
doing it. And
And
that's
it
your
gives them that
competitive
level
edge.
of comfort too, right? So it's a level of
Yeah.
comfort with who they're communicating with.
Yeah.
And you got to create that. And so that's also where we're focusing on our customer service side of our role, not our sales sales side of our roles when we're reaching out to leads. Because if we are
Exactly.
going, right for the transaction, you're going to get a lot of resistance with these individuals, right?
Yep. Yep.
Um,
I'm going to
yeah,
play a
Sundance is
call
saying
right
most.
now. Sorry.
Well, Sundance
My
is saying
Oh,
he's got a question in here. He's just saying
okay,
most of the
perfect.
time he's hearing that they're not interested or just looking. So we kind of went over that just looking. If your leads are saying they're not interested, kind of circle back and think about what you're asking to get that response. What are they not interested in because they've already signed up for it, right? I've had somebody where I called them right away and, give like the first intro, oh, I'm not interested. And I just started laughing. I started laughing and I just said to her, I was like, you don't even know what I'm calling for. I said, what are you not interested in? They kind of dropped the wall because I was laughing. And then she said, then just saying that, and she's like, oh, well, no, I was just going to look at that. I'm like, well, that's okay. I'm just calling to like, just check in and make sure that, everything's good on your end, that we're sending you the right properties. And then she completely opened up and we had, 15-minute conversation with her. And it was, a lot about nothing. Really, it's just a lot about nothing while you're grabbing bits of information about various factors and documenting it because you want these people to drop their barriers. You want them to drop their walls and have those conversations. So then when you are following up with them, you've already got that initial connection. Right. So no one should be telling you they're not interested, nor very, very few. And if they are, we have to figure out what we're saying in our dialogue that's getting that response because they've already signed up for everything. We're just helping to facilitate that the best we can.
Yeah, exactly. And what I say when they're not interested, be like, hey, I totally understand. Maybe you're not interested because you didn't see the right homes. That's why I'm calling you. I saw that you just came in, you were looking
Mm-hmm.
in Pickering. I'm sure something in Pickering sparked your eyes because I saw that you were really interested in 123 Main Street. What did you like most about that house? Like, you don't have to be that specific, but like, I'm just showing you there's so many different ways. Like, there was three levels of ways that I answered that call, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or that objection. So, I'm going to play a call right now that kind of showcases that.
Okay.
And this is actually a more in a higher price bracket, so you can see that level there. But I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to just kind of go from there. So, like I said, like if you're new and you don't know, this is where you can see what they're looking for. You can see how many times they've looked at it. So, like you can see that she's starting to get active. And I usually like to say, go to the emails and kind of check how many. So she's been on and off, but she just clicked on a few that obviously like that was happening, 16 properties.
Mm-hmm.
I've already put her on the right prospect match for herself.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. So, but other than that, I'll play this call here.
Sure.
Oh, sorry. Hold on. Let me share sound.
Hello.
Hey Lala, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, I'm good. It's actually just Nick Moretti giving you a shout. I actually just want to call you to thank you actually just for coming onto our website on MorettiRealEstate.com.
Okay.
I just want to let you know that I understand that you're just in the information stage. You're probably just browsing just to see what's available in the marketplace and just kind of, just searching, right? So this
Mm-hmm.
is no way a sales call. It's more of a customer service based call.
Okay.
So I saw that when you came in, you were looking just in Uxbridge. Are you only considering Uxbridge or would you consider other cities as well too?
Um, they're so.
Okay, so do you see already how I nailed that in like I spoke really fast, and I know my intro is a little long in some cases, but like it's a whole bunch of information that people need to hear first because it already diffuses the bomb.
uh,
Mm-hmm.
south of there, Newmarket, Aurora, King
Aurora.
City.
Yeah. Would you consider Brock as well or no?
No,
Okay. 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 King City. Any other good cities there that you're interested in?
East Willingbury or whatever it's
Yeah.
called.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Would you consider Keswick in those areas too?
not Keswick.
Okay. Perfect. Okay. So East Gill, and then would you do Brantford or no? Probably not, eh?
Probably not too far.
Yeah. I know the area as well.
Okay, so super, super important because most people probably wouldn't even do that. But like, if you don't know your neighborhoods, if you go on Toronto MLS, you can here, I'll show you guys something. I'll give you guys a Timbit today because this is going to really help you out. So kudos on the people that are on the call here. So when you log into MLS, when it logs in, go to search properties. On the side over here, on the side here, if you go to Treb Maps, you can already see where everything is. So when I was on the call with her, I already had this open. Well, I know the area though, because I've been just doing deals there. But I had this open and already seeing, okay, she said East Gilbury. Well, there's Brantford. Would she consider this? No. Would she considered Oxbridge, but she wouldn't consider Brock. So you're kind of piecing the puzzles together. And this is great for any new agents that don't really know their markets. This is really great to start building that knowledge there. And then if you go to communities, because some people like to talk about communities, you can see all the communities here. And guess what? It's much easier to put the communities when you're in the search because these are all the same communities that you can type in and make sure you're locking them in to showcase that. So, if you didn't know that, there you are now, and it's going to make your life so much easier.
So like I'm just trying to think of the products that I saw you looked at. So I'm just trying to see what's up there. So I'll definitely add those there. And then I saw that you were just kind of looking for detached homes. Now, are you looking for like minimum 4 beds or 3 bathrooms with double car garage, or what were
It
you
has
thinking?
to. If it's a double, it has to have room to build a
Like a
four-car
hoist?
garage.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. I
Yeah,
understand. So
yeah,
preferably you would like a 4 car garage in general.
yeah. They're hard to come by. Like a three-car.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something. If it's like off to the side of the house, it's attached, but off to the side where he
Yep.
can build back.
Yep.
That's something he would consider.
Yep. And
More of
when
an
you, sorry, my
older home,
apologies.
so we can renovate.
Yeah, for sure, and make it the way that you want, right? Because
Mm.
it's hard when you depending on the finishes and depending how they build it nowadays, it's different. Like the older homes are just, built strong, right? So I totally get that on that end there. Now,
Yeah, and
let's say
I'm really looking more for a back split. Sorry, a bungalow.
a bungalow. Would you consider like a bungalow raised or no?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Right. And then how about if there is something that's really really nice that has all the features, but it's a bungalow loft? Would you consider that?
Sorry, but say that again.
Sorry, my
But do you see how I'm asking and tailoring that search and asking her good questions? Because people are not asking her these questions.
apologies. I'm Italian, so I talk fast, so
No,
my apologies.
no. So I understand it's staticky. Your voice cuts out.
Okay, my apologies. I was just saying, if it had everything, would you also consider like bungalows?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, cool, 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 cool. And is there a certain price range that you're looking to stay in between?
Um, no two.
Sorry. Okay, perfect. I was just gonna say, if you were looking in like Newmarket, especially King City, Aurora, those areas there, if you're looking for at least three car garage in like an executive home area with, so I'm assuming four beds and three bathrooms is okay with you? Like that's what you're
Yeah,
looking for?
yeah. Mhm.
Okay. Okay. Because they range from anywhere between 1.7 to 3 mil, right?
Right.
Depending on
Well,
what
yeah.
that is.
Well, I know. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. And I'm not just saying, I'm just saying that just to give you some more education. It sounds like you're super savvy anyways, but like I said, this is more of a customer service role just to make sure I'm just giving you the education and the information because I know if I was on the other side, I would definitely want that as well too, you know?
Mhm.
So yeah, no problem. Okay, so I'll send you that. And also remember when you were at these higher price range, usually some of them are sitting on the market and they are negotiable. And I have been seeing some really great price points. So is it okay if I send up to 2.3? Doesn't mean you have to go up that high, but it would be really good to see price drops on certain products because maybe that would be the right ones for you if it has everything
Sure.
else, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool, cool, cool. All right, so I'll just set you up on that. And if you have any questions or anything at all, or if you see any properties that you may want to go see, just let me know. I'd be more than happy to help you out on that end.
Perfect. Thank you so much,
Okay,
Nick.
cool. My pleasure.
Take care.
Thanks so much for not hanging up on me. I appreciate that.
No worries. Take care.
Okay, take care. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Great call. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Super quick, great call, very concise, right to the point. I can tell she was busy. So I just need to find the right information. And now, with that right information, my value is sending her homes that does want to see. And clearly, she's still opening them. Yes, maybe periodically, but
Hmm.
she's opening them. She's looking at it. Today, this is a person that I'm going to call because she just looked at 16 properties today.
Hmm.
So that's how it's done. Super easy.
Hmm.
It's just time consuming,
Looking at that
especially at the
now.
beginning, to learn your own
Hmm.
scripts, right? Like, remember, guys, you're seeing this at
Yes.
like 8 years in the making. I've been with Agent Locator since the
Yeah.
get-go.
Well, you only learn by making your calls, right? So you kind of learn and you keep calling and you get more comfortable with each call you're making. You kind of learn and you swing what works and what's not working.
Exactly.
What are people opening up to and what are they kind of resistant to? And then some of it's just kind of gauging and kind of feeling that person out, their tone, on the call as well to see, okay, what route should I go with this individual?
Exactly.
Should I be just trying to grab as much as I can as quick as I can and then get off the call? Or do I feel like if I, take it a little bit slower and kind of, build more of a relationship, they're more willing to actually chat and what have you, and how do I take that conversation, right? So it's really feeling who you're speaking to and not everyone. And I think, for a lot of people, they're like, well, they don't want to talk to me. I can tell that they don't want to talk to me, right?
She was busy.
It's the resistance. It was the resistance. Like we all give resistance when we answer the call from somebody that we don't know who it is, and right away there's something that they're telling us about something, whether they're trying to sell us or it's we're calling from whatever and we just want a few minutes or whatever it is, right? We have resistance. All of us do. We don't, there's something there where we're anticipating, and most likely a sales, right? A sales pitch, telling me about something that I'm not really interested in hearing about, or I don't think I'm interested in hearing about at this moment. So we all likely sound as if we're not interested in talking to somebody when they're reaching out. So it's just, again, trying to get those barriers to drop and being more comfortable in the call and relaxed and not sales approachy, right? Again, customer service, so that they recognize that, hey, this person isn't trying to sell me something now. And then they do open up. And especially when you do, and I find, Nick, you probably find it as well, when you acknowledge the fact that they're not buying right now,
Yep.
that's that they also drop the wall. They actually tell you a lot of information when they realize there's no threat anymore.
100%. But this call was really good because you can see that she was busy. There was resistance. But when there is resistance, you just got to be really, really on point with your scripts and confident level. Because if you start backing away and you're not confident, they're going to hang up on you or just say bye. But on there, I knew she was busy. I wrapped pretty quick. But it's because I know my scripts. But like I basically said everything that there's no issues, no whatever. And as you can see, she clearly gave me all the information I wanted. And to show your value proposition is you're challenging some of the, not challenging, but you're also trying to expand like their search criteria so you can show everything. Because how about if you didn't ask those questions and that, you know, someone else contacted them and they're now opening to 3 communities rather they just told you 1. So chances are they're probably going to see something more with the other agent that they're going to reach out to that person and showcase and they're going to get the deal. So that's kind of what's at. But I would love to know, like, now that I've shared my, you know, calls or whatever, hopefully there's a little bit more confidence in the room to see, you know, what are your objections? What is working for you? You know, what are you nervous about? What are some opportunities that you may have missed or may have closed? Like, I want to hear that from you because this is more and more of like a group, but also this is a chance to get some one-on-one coaching. Remember, it's only going to help you, right? Like, Crystal knows what she's doing. I know what I'm doing.
I feel like everyone loves watching. Not everyone loves partaking. But yeah, if you guys do want to jump on, you can raise your hand. If you feel more comfortable just, you know, putting it in the chat or the Q&A, then by all means, do it that way. Yeah, I think the biggest thing as well is, and I think some of the areas of discomfort. So we all know, especially when you're new at calling leads or it's new territory, if you've been in the business for years, this is just a different type of call. We do get in our heads a little bit, right? So we create our own resistances and things like that. One is on the follow-up. So I find that some, not all, are hesitant to follow up with people because they don't want to feel like they're bothering somebody. And again, if we kind of look back at the fact that we are in just customer service here, we're not trying to sell them something, and our follow-up should be consistent with either what we told them or they requested of us, right? So if we say, hey, I'm just going to check in every month or every few months, again, depending on their timeline, just to make sure everything's still good. You're not sitting there with unanswered questions. Or if they're telling you, you know, hey, call me, give me a call in a few months, right? And you're calling them. Again, it's just, hey, I just want to check in on you. So your check-ins are never a sales where we're trying to sell them something. It's, again, we're building on that initial relationship. We're checking in on an old friend just to see how everything is and making sure there's nothing that we could be doing for them. So there shouldn't be the feeling that you're bothering somebody, right? Because we're just trying to help facilitate their search. We're not selling them things. And alternate your check-in. So if you want to do one is a call and then the next one's a text message, however you do it to feel a little bit more comfortable. But again, you can let them know, you don't have to call me back. You don't need to reply to my message if you don't feel the need to. I just want to let you know I'm here. So if you have any questions, just reach out whenever you're ready. But I will continue to check in on you just to make sure you're not sitting there again with any unanswered questions.
Yep, exactly. And that's kind of where it's at.
So Melissa is asking, when do you follow up with her and what would that conversation sound like? So yeah, I know you are going to be following up with her because she's been browsed. She was just like dormant and then came active again. So just again, that check-in. So how does so for somebody in this situation where all of a sudden she's looking at a bunch of listings after that period and then after the conversation, what do your follow-up calls look like in this?
Yeah. So I think it really depends on the follow-up depending on the level. If I saw that she was looking every single day for a week, I would probably call her a week and a half. or or if she messages me sooner, great. If someone's kind of dormant and kind of on and off, I'll probably take 2.5, 3 weeks, just because they may forget about you at that point. But if you're calling and just checking in, like you're still non-threatening, and people are more open to that, and that you're not pushy. So it really just depends on that. But for this one here, I would basically just say, hey, hey, how are you? It's Nick again. I just want to check in. I know that I've been sending you listings. There has been a bit more inventory out there based on what you're looking for. How's the list? Did you want me to change anything? Get some positive or negative feedback. If it's like, oh yeah, but I'm not really like it, I'm not really seeing much. Okay, well, I know that you were looking for bungalow, raise, whatever. Would you want me to open up to 2 stories and stuff so you can see more products, right? Or maybe it was really good and they did see a product that they like. But like, hey, awesome. Did you want to go see it? At the end of the day, I understand that you're just looking for information, but I think it's super important, especially in the information stage, to go see the property. And I understand that this might not be the one, right? And that's totally cool. But as a buyer, if I was in your shoes, I would want to go see the properties or anything that is, really interesting to me, because you don't know the opportunity until you see it. And it may just work for you if it's the right one. If it's not, hey, at least you got to meet me. I got to give you some more information, give you a tour, and then we wait for the next one. Like, that's kind of what it is. Super easy.
Yeah.
Super easy.
Now, do you find that, so in this call, I don't think with the initial call, you acknowledged the fact that she's likely just browsing and doing some research, but we never really actually kind of grasped from her, did we, that, what her timeline to make it, like, her search actually looks like. Right?
But
we don't really know what her motivation is.
But I leave all those questions. Like, sometimes if I'm not going through the whole thing, I'm saving that tidbit for the next time I talk to her, because you don't want to tell someone everything unless it's like a hot lead and they're ready to go. But you want to have some sort of mysterious, not really mysterious, but you want to have some reason to contact them, right? Or another way to contact them is, hey, I saw this in here. It actually sold for a really great price, under listing. Have you seen anything you like? Because right now you may be able to get a great price. And then from there, you kind of open it up, right? Oh yeah, great. I'll take a look. Hey, if you don't mind me asking, is there a specific timeline that you do have, or you're just looking just to look?
Yeah.
Right? And then you just start piecing it all together.
Yeah.
But chances are, if they're going out to look, like, it's probably like a month to 4 month thing.
Yeah. Anyone that's willing to go and look at properties is,
they're thinking about it.
They're nearing the the completion date, let's put it that way. They're just looking.
Or another great way to follow up, it doesn't have to be a phone call. It could be, you already know her criteria. Go into MLS, see what's available, and then send her a text message saying, hey, these are my top 5 picks. Based on our last conversations, I think these are a great fit. Like, give value. Don't just be like, hey, like, what's up? Like, give value. Make them want to use you. Like, think about this. Think about when you have a shit doctor and a good doctor. Think about that experience. The good doctor is asking a lot more questions and asking things of how you're feeling in order to do the right thing, where a bad doctor is probably just going to be like, oh, this is what it is, and not do any more delivery and stuff, right? And usually the good ones, they really want to take care of you and ask you questions. Like, you have to think about, like, how can I give the best service, right? Like, that's the only way that we're all different from each other. That's the thing about real estate that's pretty, like, annoying, is that I think I just broke my chair. But that's the thing that's really annoying in real estate, is that everyone copies and repeats everyone. If someone has a great coming soon video, everyone's going to start doing that. Like, I started doing the lifestyle videos, and a lot of people in my area are starting to do that. Whoever is, like, decent on camera, like, meaning that is comfortable on camera. And the only thing that makes us different is the experience. What is an experience? How you text people, how you call people, how you contact people, how you show that you're a professional and you're showing and servicing them based on their needs. And that could be, how much is their house worth? These are the properties that they're interested in. Here are ways that we can get the best price. Like, there's so many ways to do it. And I just feel that most realtors are just, like, linear. Are we buying or selling? Buyer or selling? Buyer or selling, right? You just gotta be open and just understand, right? But you don't understand until you have the experience and getting rejected, and you're going on these calls and you're going in person and you're doing all these routines day in and day out, because then once you get more seasoned, then you have a better understanding of what people respond with and how you can respond better.
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely.
So, yeah. Is there any other questions? I would love to learn more about what you guys have, other ways that you want to follow up, or whichever, right? Like, remember
Mm-hmm.
too, guys, once you guys in your script, you guys have the nosy neighbor. If you can find out where they live, and a few things that you would say is like, hey, you're probably not ready for a home assessment right now. You're just in the information stage. But what I can do is, now that I know you live on 123 Main Street, what I'll do is I'll put you on this campaign. And let's be real, like, any neighbor or any real estate agent, even if I wasn't a real estate agent, will want to know if they see a sign up on their lawn or a sold sign on their lawn, right? Or not
Mm-hmm.
on their lawn, but on their street. No
Yeah.
matter what, you want to know what it's sold for. So why don't I do you the favor? And so you don't have to look manually. As soon as it happens, it comes right into your emails. And that's another great way to automate something. And now you're popping up, and you don't know when that curiosity is going to like hit. And you might get that message,
Mm-hmm.
like, hey, Nick, we saw that sale. That's great. Can you come by and do a home assessment? Because we're curious now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I always encourage that if you guys do have access to sold listings, any of your leads that you are calling that have a house that they would need to sell, is to offer them the sold listings in their neighborhood so they can stay on top of the market. And again, that's
And then you look
you can do it
professional.
through the website, the page, or you can do it just in the back end of the dashboard. But now you're also nurturing them through another product as well. So not only are you sending them where they want to be moving to, but also the sale prices to kind of help determine for them, or give them a very general idea as to what the homes are going for that are affecting their home value. It's also good as well if you call your leads. So some of us are playing catch up in our systems, and you're calling older leads, and a lot of people may have already purchased, which is fine. Again, if you have sold listings, offer them that. Congratulate them on being able to buy, whatever you want to say in that, but offer them that, because they will move again, right? So you're going to remember that you are building a database. Unless you're planning on retiring in the next few months here, you want to be building on that database and potentially, get that transaction the next time around, right? Or, you're seeing that activity and you're putting them on a follow-up thing. So maybe you want to create a check-in where these people that they purchased, you're going to follow up with them just, every year, just to check in, see how they're doing. If they just bought this, 2 months ago, they're probably not moving within a year unless, big situations changed. But, so then you're keeping yourself kind of in the loop, but also nurturing through the listings as well.
Exactly. So I'm reading Ali's, question here, and it's just basically saying, how would you plan for the holiday greetings for the leads? So a few things. So if I'm doing holidays just in general, holidays are coming up. There's usually some holidays like, Thanksgiving or for sure Christmas and stuff like that I definitely do do things for my database. But if these leads are not hot and they're not in your database yet, so like how I organize my leads, everyone does it differently, but I have two databases. One is agent locator and online leads, and then I have one that's just people that past clients that have used me, or current clients that are using me now. So when it comes to the online leads, I would probably make just like a mass generic email, like not super generic, like make it some sort of whatever. But yes, I would probably send it through all that, send mass emails. Probably just like, if you have a lot of leads, probably cycle through them. Like, for example, if you have 1,000 leads, maybe every day you send out 200 emails, because what I didn't learn is that you send 1,000 out, you're going to have like if you do get messages back, you might have 20, 30, 40 people that message back, and now you have to be pretty on point with it, right? So I find that if you could just do like 200 and space them out before the holidays, obviously, I think that would be better and easier for you to manage and not miss any, lead conversations.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, my pleasure.
You do also, and again, the campaigns, right? You can do campaigns.
Yeah, exactly. And like exactly.
You can set up a fixed date campaign. So you can build a holiday campaign for 5 years ahead of time. You just need to know the date. and just plug it in, you set it, you assign it to every incoming lead that comes in, and then on every single holiday that you wish to communicate to leads for, it just automatically goes out. And then if you're doing anything above and beyond that, then you do
Yeah.
things above and beyond that.
Exactly. So Melissa's asking, are you using two different CRMs? So yes. So I'm with Keller Williams. Keller Williams, they have their own database program with everything in it, called Command. So what I learned at my early career is that a lot of people have like thousands of people in their database, but they don't touch base with anybody. So what I do is essentially, I don't want to be one of those agents, and I want to know who my database is without like this tedious long database that I don't want to touch if it's too not managed. So the Command is where I put all that there, and then Agent Locator CRM, because I'm sending out prospect searches, is where I put all my online leads. So online leads, which is Agent Locator, any Facebook leads, any open houses, any sign calls, anything is going through Agent Locator. So that's how I do it, because then it's just too much.
Nurturing.
It's just too much.
Oh yeah.
And in order for you to be successful in online leads, you need to be organized. Like my mentor told me, he goes, and it would always piss me off, but I love him. But he would say, like, Nick, you can make like the level of business you're doing now, totally cool with everything that you're doing. You'll make like, like 200, 300K, but you'll never make $7 or $1 million the way that you're doing it now. I'm like, fuck you. Yeah, I will. But like, no, he's right. Like you have to, because if you're getting more people and doing more deals, and you have to be more organized and have more systems in place in order to get to those numbers. Because, if you're getting hit with so many leads and you're not responding to them, then you're not getting them anyways.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Right. So, that's kind of what I do, Melissa.
Yeah. And there's, it's not uncommon that some people will have two separate systems, one for my clients and one for my leads.
Yes.
And then we move them over.
100%.
That's not uncommon. I know that down the road, Agent Locator is going to be building out more features. ETA, I could not tell you, but to be more from the client management. So right now, our system is very based on conversion. Right, so converting your leads, so kind of building out more against the converted lead, right? So the stuff that you would want to have in a system or could utilize or take advantage of for your client databases or people that you've converted and things like that. So whether it's documents, being able to do something with sold statistics and sold information, so pulling up all that data. Whatever it might be that you need in there. And of course, I think they are enhancing a bit, possibly like our editors on the CRM for sending out emails and things, making it easier for you guys to send out newsletters, just all stuff like that. And that's all built in the system. I find it's really hard to find, and looking, and looking and hearing about all different systems, is they all have different strengths. There's no system out there that has an all-in-one. You're going to find everything that you need all in one. They all have their strengths, and they all have feature products and things that they focused on within those systems, right? So it's determining, what you need specifically. Agent Load is great for converting your leads, tools, lead nurturing, all of that. And a lot of people do use it for their client bases. Do not get me wrong. A lot of them do. Some people just have different things that they're used to in another system, or they just like to look at things differently, right? So they like to keep these, peas in this pot and these peas in this pot, right? That's and it just
comes down to all preference. Exactly. It just comes down to all preference. If you don't know what the best way of doing it, I would just go on YouTube. Type in, how to organize leads, whatever, in real estate. Like, we have so much opportunity now, where all the resources are literally at our fingertips. So, that's what I would try to do. But is there any other questions that anyone has, or, maybe we can, if you guys are all good, maybe we can just hop off a little bit earlier. I mean, it's all up to you guys on if you have any questions or guidance that you need.
It's got it.
Everyone's
you guys do have, and if you guys want to prepare even for the next sessions with Nick, if there's calls that maybe you made that you were using the dialer. We can listen to calls. And you want those calls even critiqued. It doesn't necessarily have to just be Nick. It could be like almost like a group discussion. We don't have to tell anyone who you are.
Exactly.
Usually, it could be you just kind of post it, and then everyone kind of gives their feedback, that sort of thing. So that's a great learning tool as well to kind of look and listen and how other people may have responded to certain scenarios when you are encountering calls, because we all get different ones, right? We all encounter very different calls and situations with our leads, and some of them are very standard and common, and some of them are not standard and common, right? So
Yep.
we're all here to help each other.
Exactly, right. And this is a safe space. Like, we're all here to learn. So, which is pretty great.
Perfect. Awesome.
Okay.
That's it
So
then.
it looks everyone's good. All right. Well,
Perfect.
if you guys have any questions, reach out to me on Moretti Real Estate on Instagram, and let me know. I'm always here for you guys.
Awesome. Thanks, Nick.
My
Thanks
pleasure.
everyone for watching. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.